It's really early in the morning, and I just gotta film right now because that's when she's working on this, and I just gotta work around her schedule because she's teaching me. So bang chung is really easy to make. It's just really time consuming and tedious, but the way to speed it up is prepping the banana leaf. So my mom's gonna show me how to prep it. We didn't buy this, my dad made it, so you guys just gotta make it yourself. Someone told me they made their mold out of Legos, and I was quite impressed, and I gotta see what they were talking about.
Từ cái mép này nó fix với cái này, nó vừa với cái này, vừa bên trong thôi chứ không phải vừa bên ngoài.
Okay. So you want to fold this banana leaf in half just so it fits the inside of this.
Bắt đầu con xếp thêm một lần nữa. Xếp thêm một lần nữa nó cũng vừa với cái bên trong thôi nè. Cái chiều này nè, nó vừa ở bên trong nè. Đại khái con xếp thành một cái khung mà nó fix với cái bên trong này thôi. Cái chỗ này nó vừa nhưng mà chỗ này nó dư, mình cắt lại.
Okay.
Make sure vừa chưa.
You see the banana leaves is running this way. You don't want to cut off this top piece right here because this is what's holding your banana leaf in together. If it's too big, then just refold it. I want this to fit inside this little square. Any leftover pieces, don't throw these away because we're going to use it for the layers on the inside. I'll show you this next time. For your pork, you want to use a fattier cut like pork belly. This is actually thit nam chi. I don't know the proper translation for that, but if you were to roughly translate it, translates to pork 5 lines. I didn't know such cut exists, but it exists. You're going to cut your pork into large chunks and season with salt and black pepper. I don't have a picture or video of what it looks like after it's seasoned. You just got to season it and mix it up. For our mung bean, you're going to soak it in water for at least 3 hours, and sweet rice, we're going to soak it for at least 5 hours. Once your mung bean has been soaking for at least 3 hours, you're going to rinse and drain this under cold water and then give it a nice wash. You want to treat this like rice, so wash it until the water runs clear. Next, fill this up with salt and water. I recommend diluting the salt into the water so when you add the water into your mung bean, it gets easily dispersed.
And as for the water, you want it to be just barely hitting the top of the mung beans. Heat is on high. We're going to bring this to a boil. It's slowly starting to come to a boil. You can see right there. See how it's coming to a boil? Now we're going to reduce our heat and simmer for about 10 minutes.
After it's been simmering / cooking for 10 minutes, you're going to turn off your heat. Give this a nice little mixy mix. Place the lid back on and let it sit for another 10 to 15 minutes.
So we had this sitting for about 10 minutes, and now we're going to season it with some black pepper. Now that it's been sitting covered with the lid on, when you mix it up, it's going to turn into a paste. Everything's going to crumble apart.
The key to getting it to crumble like this is to soaking it in water. I was actually giving you guys instructions in the video, but my mom, she was being all cheese me and shit. You know how Vietnamese moms are, they love to gossip, so I had to mute it out, and that's why I'm doing this voiceover. As for your rice, same thing. Rinse and drain it under cold water and wash it until the rice runs clear, and season this with just salt. Now that all of your prep work is done, you can start wrapping your bang chung.
I'm going to show you guys how to wrap this slowed down, and I'm going to try my best to explain it to you. So you want your string at the bottom, your mold right on top, so it looks like that. This first piece is the most important piece. You want it to be full in length, not like this one. You see how this one, it's not full in length, but it does fit our mold. First one has to be full in length. You're gonna start with whatever corner, but you wanna go in one direction. So you're gonna open this up, leave this. So I'm starting this corner right here. You wanna leave this in here. You wanna make sure these 2 corners touch. And this is going to, you can either have it fall down this way or fall down this way. It does not matter. Next, you gotta take this corner and fold it up halfway. So it's like a triangle. So now this is your first layer. The second piece, it is okay if it's not a full piece. You just need the first one to be like that. You wanna open this corner, same thing. Drop this down. That's why it's important you prep this the right way. You want these 2 corners to touch. And this can drop either way, either this way or this way. It looks like it's naturally falling this way, so I'm gonna have it drop this way. In this little corner right here, again, I'm gonna fold this up so it looks like that. You see how this is the top of our banana leaf? We always want that sitting at the top. So you open this up, these 2 corners, they need a touch. Whichever direction this falls, that's okay. For this third piece, you do not have to fold this up into a triangle. you can just leave it flat. The last piece, again, because it's not the first piece, it doesn't have to be a full piece. And again, you want this to be at the top. Làm này cũng dễ ha. Put this down. Again, you don't have to fold this one up into the triangle. You only have to do it for the first 2 pieces. Now we have to layer. This right here is a little crooked like your teeth. That's okay. You need at least one side to be straight. If this is crooked, that's fine. The reason you need it to be straight is you're gonna have it standing like this. So again, we're starting back in that corner. One piece, and you want to do it to all 4 corners. Piece number 2. Number 3 in this corner. And this is the last one. Do you have to use a lot of banana leaves like this? Yes, you do. So now there's our second layer. So after we have the 4 corners reinforced, we need to reinforce the base. Remember I told you not to throw these little bigger pieces away? We're gonna reinforce the bottom, but make it so one side is you see how this side is taller than this side? We're gonna do this, the same thing. You want this side. I hope my explanation's helping. So you see how this leaf right here is taller, but it's not, yeah. I hope you guys, again, understand what I'm saying. Starting from this corner all the way up. And our last piece. Are you guys understanding me? We're gonna do this. And then there. So there we have our CHUNG reinforcement done. We're gonna start with the corners. You wanna just kind of like shove it in there. Do it to each corner. Last corner. You're gonna take your hand or your finger and you're just gonna push it into that corner. And then you're gonna add a thin layer in the middle. Just flatten this out. This is our mung bean. Shoot, pour this straight in. The filling can be adjusted to however much you want in it. You don't want the corners to have too many. There. Don't stretch it too much because we want a lot of meat, right? We're gonna add one more piece right here. And then our second round of mung bean, just pour it in here. And then we're gonna add rice and we're gonna do the same method we did at the beginning. So starting with the corners. Just kind of press this in because you want it to be a nice little square. You want it to have nice corners. One more layer on top, but just a thin layer. We're gonna pat this in. In this last piece, we want it to sit right on top like this. Hold this down. I'm gonna take this corner and press it in tightly. Take this corner and press it in tightly like that. This piece, again, press it in. And you want to seal this in like that. No, my baby's fine. And now you want to remove this mold. I just take this mold and hook it right onto my arm. I don't know if you guys can see that. And then we're going to tie this off into a knot. And then when you flip it over, it's gonna look something like this. All that's left is we need to cook this, and I'll show you how to do that in part 2 because this video is already 10 minutes long.